This is Rockin' with J-Man is with Frame42. So how you doing, guys?
We're
Good. How
good.
are
How are
you?
you?
Good, just enjoying life. How about you guys?
Uh,
About the
Same.
same.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
So for those who are watching and unfamiliar with you guys, can you tell me all about yourselves?
Yeah, so we're a rock band from Lapeer, Michigan. We started about um 6 years ago, and we've just been making tunes. We just released a new EP on all streaming platforms, and we're about to go on tour with Smile Empty Soul.
So the new album Frame42 just dropped, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how has the reception been on this so far?
It's
Pretty
been pretty
good.
good.
Yeah.
We have one of our songs, Intoxicate, that's doing really well on Spotify that we didn't really expect to happen because we've been promoting our single Ramona. And Intoxicate's kind of growing on its own. So
Yeah.
I'd say the reception has been pretty good.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about the writing process on this album?
Well, we kind of like amongst the instrumentalists, we bring in a riff and or like something we think is cool. And then we're just like, oh, cool. And then we'll jam on that for a little while. Then Ava will bring in the lyrics, and then we go from there. And at some point, Toby, right, our producer, comes in and he offers his input on what he thinks we should do with arrangements and sections of songs. And then we get in the studio and throw it down.
So being a brother and sister act, are you guys the Rock Osmonds?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say exactly. Sometimes I forget we're related,
Yeah.
but it is convenient if I have a song idea and I just walk across the hall and say, "Hey, Brock, listen to this."
Yeah.
You guys fight a lot?
Not
Not
really.
too much. We only will fight about music though.
Yeah.
Like
Like when we're here, we'll just if
my
we got an
neighbors.
issue, we beef it out on Mario Party or Mario Kart or something. Like we don't really argue that much.
No, only if we have different ideas about where a song should go.
Yeah, that's like the only time where we're just like,
You're
you know.
wrong.
Yeah.
Did you guys sing little songs to each other as kids and saying, "We're gonna be famous one day. We're gonna do it."
Ava, I didn't get into this until like 2017, like doing it seriously like this, but Ava's been doing it forever.
I started guitar lessons in third grade, and I'd come home and try to teach Brock everything that I learned, and he was probably in kindergarten or first grade. And it wasn't really sticking until later, and now he runs circles around me in guitar. But I've always wanted to, do this for a career. And I think Brock, once he got into it, he feels the same.
Yeah.
What influenced you guys?
Well, classic rock, definitely just across the board. But for me, I really love the Beatles and their songwriting, and that's probably my biggest influence.
For me, my biggest influence was like Van Halen and Metallica, like those guys, and just watching old videos of them playing. And we get a lot of different influences among us. And like Michael's more into metal and Lucas is more into funk. So we get like this big mixing pot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever think about quitting when the lockdown was going on?
No,
No.
I don't think so. I mean, it's always just kind of for fun. So even when the lockdown happened, it was still for fun, and I'd still write songs in my room. And then a couple months later, when you know, everyone could go out in public again, then we picked up right where we left off.
Yeah.
What is the craziest thing you remember about the lockdown?
Ooh. Um, For me, that was my junior year of high school. And I remember the day they had announced that school was going to be out for 2 weeks. The whole day was just weird. And I kept telling my friend Kendall, like something weird is happening. And all my friends, like everyone just knew something was up. And then I remember I was in math class at the end of the day and they said, well, you know what, let's take 2 weeks off. And 2 weeks turned into a few months.
Yeah.
But during lockdown I had a pretty good routine, so nothing too crazy. It was just like the week and the day leading up to it was very odd.
Yeah, I guess it was like the whole time was just so much more like relaxed than what you've had the rest of your entire life. And so it was like, you know, really chill. So nothing crazy, at least for me, happened.
I mean, I could say the same. Like, well, I was still in school when it happened, and I'm still in school. Like, I remember in third grade when they were just saying when like kids were freaking out when it first was coming into America. And I remember our teacher saying, "Oh, it's no big deal. It's just a virus. It's not gonna do anything."
Yeah.
And then I remember hearing that 2 weeks, and I was excited. And then like we had like literally a full year off of school after that until finally online classes.
Yeah. That's true, because yeah, it was like in March, so then we had all of summer off, and then in the fall they did this weird hybrid schedule at our school where like last name A through L would go in person this day and N through Z would do online. It was just really weird, but it was basically like a whole year off.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I had no struggles during the lockdown. I personally enjoyed it. It was just like you're relaxing. What do you guys think about AI?
AI is cool, but also really weird. And just the way that anybody can just make, I don't know, Amy Winehouse sing a Van Halen song and for it to sound real is so weird. And it's kind of scary. Like, what could they make people say that sounds real that could get them canceled or get them into big trouble? But also the fact that like a lot of jobs are probably gonna go out and because of AI. It's just, to me it's scary. And I heard a theory. This is just a theory that I heard on this podcast, that everything already is AI and we are already asleep. I don't remember how it went, but it was like basically everything is AI right now.
Like a simulation, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I think that's
Matrix.
what, and I'm not saying I believe it. It's just what I heard.
Don't believe everything you hear on the internet.
On my podcast.
Yeah.
I will not.
So it's just like crazy with AI. Like they're coming out with songs like they sent like with singers that exactly sound like them. I wonder if people like who have the rights to like Doors or Elvis or Biggie Smalls will just agree to put out like an AI record for them. Like maybe make new songs if they have the capabilities. They could try to make a new song.
I feel like it depends on their intent and like how much they like personally value that artist's work. Like if they're just trying to make a quick buck, I feel like they'll do anything to do that. But if it's like they really treasure what an artist did while they were alive, then they're just gonna keep it that way.
Yeah, because it's hard to AI exactly how the artist thinks when they're writing and all that, but you can make a computer write anything. But yeah, I would agree with you.
Do you plan on going on tour this year?
We do. And we're going on tour actually in a week and just a little bit over with Smile and Peace Soul for August 4th to the 22nd. We'll be on the road.
What do you think about ticket prices getting super high for a lot of bands?
It's kind of crazy, and I don't like that a lot of it has to do with reselling, because then the artist has no control over what the ticket price should be. And I think it leaves a lot of the fans clearly, upset, and I think it's just not cool. And I think they're fixing it though.
I hope.
But just the reselling stuff, yeah, is kind of shady.
Yeah.
What was life like for you guys on the road?
Well, we were at a thing for a Greta Van Fleet album pre-release party the last weekend, I think it was, or 2 weekends ago, and they had this like Family Feud-esque quiz show thing. And one of the things was like, what does a band do on the road? Like survey says, what does they do? And it was like everything on there. That was not the tour we had. Like
Drink.
yeah. So wake up, look out the window, go to sleep, maybe drink some water. That's pretty much it. Because like number one was like play some music. After playing music every night, you're not gonna want to spend all your time in the day doing it that much. But it's like, yeah, it was like just kind of funny to see that. And then yeah, we just usually spend time sleeping, doing other stuff, some gaming, some listening to music, and like we'll write, like at least I'll write maybe twice a week or so. It's like you play so much when you're on the road. So
Yeah, I'm planning on bringing a guitar, so prepare to be sick of me.
boy, we got spot on you for the roof.
But yeah, at least for us, we might be a little bit boring on the road.
Yeah.
What's the best venue you've ever played?
Ever.
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
Hmm.
I think personally, I'm a big motorsports racing fan. And last September, we got to play the Blue Ridge Rock Festival, which is at Virginia International Raceway. And it was cool to go there because my dad's driven that a bunch. And it was just cool to be on a racetrack grounds there. And so I think that was my favorite so far.
Yeah, a favorite of the band for sure is the Machine Shop in Flint. And it's so close to us, and everyone is just amazing in there. And the energy is always brought, and everyone's just ready to listen to music and have a good time. So I think that one will always be a favorite for sure.
What's the worst?
Ooh.
I don't know if we can name names, but there have been some bad ones.
Well, I think like the hardest ones for sure, just technically, are like private parties, or if it's at someone's house and we got to figure out how we're going to get all this power and do the whole thing. I wouldn't say they're the worst because they end up being some of the most fun, but technically they are very challenging.
Yeah.
Do you have a ritual before you guys go on stage?
We do. We usually sing, well, it's kind of changed. So I'm excited to see what it will be this time around, because it was the Spanish alphabet. And then it turned into all of us singing "They Don't Really Care About Us" by Michael Jackson. And now we kind of huddle up and we go like, locked in. Are you locked in? But it pretty much changes every cycle. So we'll kind of see what it is this time.
Yeah.
What is your favorite memory from playing a show?
What made you laugh?
Well, so we used to do this might not be my favorite, but this just came to mind. We used to do a time slot at a local bar just a few miles away that was from 9:30 to 1:30 a.m. And so you would get some pretty weird people out at 1:30 a.m. listening to tunes. And so I remember there was one time that there was this dude in between sets, because when you play like a 4-hour time slot, you break it up into like 4 sets of 45 minutes, 15 minutes in between, and then you just keep going. And after like the third set, so it's like 12:30, some dude comes up to me with like a pitcher of beer. Like he didn't even bother pouring it in a cup. And he just like gets around my shoulder, like arm around my shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, bro, you are the best drummer I have ever seen. I am the bass player. I had not played drums the entire night." And so that just kind of came to mind. Might not be my favorite, but it's one I look back on and laugh.
That's a good one. One of my favorite is probably again going back to the machine shop. We just had a show there May 19th, and it was just amazing and fun, and it was, you could just feel the energy again and bounce everything off the audience, and it's just a great time.
What is your worst?
Worst.
I remember we played a venue in Ann Arbor, Michigan called the Blind Pig. And for some reason, my tuner pedal on my pedal board broke, and I wasn't getting like volume out of my amp. So the entire time I was guessing if I was in tune or not. And apparently it was great, but it was like I was just stressing out the whole time. Yeah.
I'd probably going off that, not at the Blind Pig, but at another venue. I just could not get a read on whatever key you guys were in like the whole night. And I was totally off key, I think, the whole night. And that was not a good time.
What's next for you guys?
Well, like I said, we're gonna hit the road August 4th, and then after that, we're hoping to get in the studio and record a top secret song that we'll release soon. And we've got some more shows this Friday. We've got Stephen Piercy from Rat we're opening for
Saturday at District 142 in
for
south
those
of Detroit.
listening.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll just be gigging around and releasing music.
Yeah.
How do my followers follow you?
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all under Frame42 Band.
Do you guys got any cool merch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
Cool merch and cooler merch coming, hopefully, with some new designs. But we've got cool charm bracelets, cool t-shirts, tank tops. We've got these flats that they look like vinyl covers, but there's no vinyl inside because that's too expensive. But they've got cool artwork and lyrics on the back.
You know you gotta hook up your boy with some fresh gear. Come on, man. School's coming. I'm still in school.
Gotta be
All
rocking
right.
that fresh fit on the first day of school.
Yes.
Absolutely. Tripped out head to toe.
Thank you. So it's fun.
Frame42 swag.
Yes. Yes, I need this. I just need me some clothes. I need some new drip. I just need it.
We'll get you new drip.
Appreciate it. So it's fun question time. You're on death row and it's time for your final meal. What is on your guys' menu?
Ooh, I gotta go with my grandma's mac and cheese recipe. And then my other grandma's banana bread. And I'm gonna throw in, to wash it down, maybe like a smoothie. Maybe a smoothie. Or no, maybe an iced coffee or something.
I would probably take like a medium rare ribeye or something. I don't know. Probably, yeah, that.
Just off the cuff.
Yeah, have the police cook that up in the kitchen. And then maybe with like just a water, not too big soda. This is like the
nice
most white bread. Like
steak and water.
I would have a steak and water, but I mean that's just kind of what I would have, I guess.
What would yours be?
That's probably just like chicken wings, some pizza.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Solid.
Um, probably Pepsi, just Pepsi, and maybe a burger too. And I think that's it, really.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Well-rounded.
So, Death Row, it's Death Row and time is over. How are you guys going out?
I don't know what the least painful would be, but I know I'm not getting electrocuted, that's for sure. And I'm not, I don't know, maybe I can go out peacefully with like euthanization if they'll let me.
I don't know what's
You can get
what's
shot,
in play.
you can get electrocuted, lethal injection.
You can get hanged.
You could get
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, whatever's
I
least painful. I think that's the injection is the
Yeah,
least
lethal
painful.
injection. Wait, no,
Is
I
it?
think it's firing squad, right?
Firing
That one
squad?
too.
Yeah, then you get
Because you have like, yeah, you should just be taken out instantly, I think, with that one.
When you
unless
get
they
shot.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah,
they shoot your body, then yeah.
then
Yeah. Then that hurts.
lethal injection, I feel like you'll feel all your organs failing and you gotta, I think it's a long deal, but I might be wrong. I haven't really studied up on my death penalty.
Yeah. I'm sorry, we're a little rusty.
Yeah. Be better next time, guys. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Next interview, we're gonna be studied
We'll
up.
study up.
So, if you could choose any superpower, what would you have?
Control of time. Like
Time
stop
and-
time.
Yes. Yeah, that's what
Yeah, fast forward time, go back in time. I'd do all the time stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with too.
Mm-hmm.
This is tricky because like the time is good. Being able to like fly around would be sick. I wouldn't
I
feel
would
like
waste my power on flying around though, because there's other modes of transportation.
yeah, but you can fly.
Yeah,
you don't
but-
need any.
Look at that freak in the sky flying around.
That's true. That's very true. And like invisibility, I don't know. I don't want to be that creep. Maybe super speed would be rad. I think
Yeah.
that's what I would go with is like super speed or super strength. Being able to load the entire band trailer in one fell swoop. Load that whole thing out.
Let's say you could choose any song ever written by any band and you can change that song where you were the one who wrote it and it was your song. What song would it be and why?
See, I think it's hard that question because it's like you can take like one of the best songs of all time, like Freebird, but if you separate that from Leonard Skinner, then it's like
Then it's not as iconic.
yeah, it's not the same. So it's like at the very core, like
I wouldn't want
what
to
is that
rob.
song?
I wouldn't want to rob the song of anyone else, but
Yeah,
I would want a massive, huge song that everyone knows the words to. So I would say perhaps "Happy Birthday"
lame.
and get royalties every time it's played.
I might have to go with some like Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix. Because I think I'm not like the craziest Jimi Hendrix fan in the world, but I mean, I really like how that song is written.
And I changed my mind because I'm going with "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
That is, yeah. I'll bow down to the true greatest song of all
The
time.
queen of, I would be the queen of Christmas.
Self-proclaimed.
Well, thank you guys for being on my show. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. And I hope the next time we talk is at the backstage of one of your shows. It's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Nah, man, it's been my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
And we'll hit you up with some merch.
Yeah, get you some
Appreciate
swag.
that. See you guys.